Why, good morning, my dear! You certainly slept well, didn't you? You look the part. I did not know it was possible for hair to stick up that much. Look at that! You're only continuing to impress me. All right, come on now. Get up. This is my bed, remember? Ah, wait. My mistake. You would not remember that. Why? Because you practically collapsed on top of me in the middle of our dance. I was having a wonderful time, and then you decided to become tired. Do not think that I will not remember this. Are you really flirting with me now? All right, I will play your little game. What if I said I did enjoy dancing with you? What if our little deal absolutely made my day? A demon like you approaching me with your hands practically in the air. You were begging me to engage with you. How could I deny such desperation? You are quite the excellent dancer, my dear, but you could do with a bit more tact. Now, come along and get your hair brushed out. We have places to be. Why are you asking questions? I own your soul. I'm allowed to do with you whatever I wish, without consequence. But I suppose I can tell you. After all, you are not to share our outings with anyone outside of the soul tie. I would add that clause to the deal, but I'm hoping I can trust you. Do not prove me wrong. Besides that, we are going to meet with an overlord of sorts. They have encroached on some of my dear Rosie's territory, and she has asked me to sort it out personally. You will accompany me. Do not misunderstand. I could handle this entire situation very easily on my own. However, it is nice to know I will have someone to stand by me should things go awry. On top of that, you have yet to prove yourself to me. Now is your chance to do so. A chance is better than nothing at all, don't you think so? All right, hurry and get up now. We must meet with them before noon. I can only hope everything goes well, for their sake, of course. I very kindly ask that you turn around while I change. Very few have seen the radio demon in such a precarious position, and I am afraid you will not be one of them. Perhaps if you get lucky one day. Who can say? Oh, I instructed my shadow to leave you some clothes. They are laying on the table over there. I was not exactly sure what you would wear, so I improvised. I can only hope you do not mind. All right. Simply let me know when you are done. Oh, what's with that look on your face? You look absolutely fantastic, my dear. Not many can pull off the stripes, and with the khakis, truly my finest work yet. All right, fine, I will give you something decently stylish. I'm honestly surprised you put that hideous ensemble on in the first place. It is almost like you are trying to embarrass yourself. There. Is that better? These articles are from my own closet. I would hope you would take care not to ruin them. That would be less than desirable. For you, of course. Now come along. We have things to do. No, you are not arguing with me. I do not care if you have responsibilities or anything you need to take care of. Not only did you just arrive in hell, but I also have complete and total control over your soul and thus your body. It is quite literally in the contract. All right, I am sick of your insubordination. Come along. Now, we must travel a fine distance, so I expect you to be on your best behavior. You will follow every direction I give you, and you will do so with care. Should you disobey even a single order, there will be hell to pay. Do you understand? Good. Now come along. I suppose I should tell you more about this little client of ours. I would call them an overlord, but they hardly have the qualifications, and they are certainly not on my level in terms of power. I have not met them personally, but Rosie informed me that they are quite malicious. I believe they were attempting to corrupt some parts of Cannibal Town, which simply will not do. They are far too big a community for one to just simply take from. We will not be allowing that. According to her, this demon is considerably unimpressive. They use weapons rather than abilities, and while they are taller than most, supposedly they are quite skinny. I believe that if it comes down to it, it will be an easy fight. Ah, that reminds me. You do not yet know of your abilities, do you? If you even have any. That will be quite the debacle, although I cannot say I am entirely worried. You seem like you can handle yourself, and you would not want to disappoint me, would you? Good. I would hope not. Come along, my dear. Pick up the pace a bit. You are falling behind. You know what? I have been thinking, and I think I have an offer for you. If you would be so inclined to listen. Wonderful. I would like to propose something. A deal, mayhaps. Not a proper one, of course, considering I own every aspect of your life, but a deal. You do this for me, and I will give you one thing of your choosing. Anything you'd like. Under my jurisdiction, of course. How does that sound? You've gotten smarter in the few hours you've been asleep. I suppose I should not be surprised. All right, fine. I suppose we will not make the deal then. Suit yourself. Oh, you are interested then? Wonderful. We have a deal, my dear. No shaking necessary. I will follow through on my word, do not worry. And if I don't, I suppose you will just have to suffer through without it. Excuse you. You are not going to punish me for anything. I am the radio demon. That is also an absurd thing to say in public. You truly should be ashamed of yourself. All right. I believe you are coming on to me a little too hard. What, is this your attempt to get me to give you more attention? You are my bodyguard, my dear. We will be spending plenty of time together over the next few decades. Or, well, depending on how long you survive down here. After all, I could take you on an absolutely perilous journey one day, and you may not come back. Who can say? Well, do not call my bluff so soon. You truly do ruin all my fun. All right, fine. I suppose I can keep you around. You entertain me well enough. Well, as best you can, walking around in such a formal outfit. I truly do think that first ensemble I gave you would have fit you so much more. Are you not the biggest fan of stripes? I thought you looked decent in them. What we are not going to do is insult my taste in clothing. Stripes are a perfectly exquisite style to indulge in, mind you. I think you are misunderstanding. There is no mutual banter here. You are not going to degrade me in any sense. Behind my back, perhaps, but not to my face. Understood? You are frustrating. Perhaps that is why you entice me so. Who can say? Oh, I'm sorry. Was that too big of a word for you? That dazed look on your face is quite amusing. Anyways, no point on dwelling on things like that. We are almost at the rendezvous point. Quite ironic. Welcome to Predator Point, my dear. The place for all animal-like demons to hunt each other at will. I frequent this place quite often, as I'm sure you can imagine, so I am well acquainted with the majority of the demons in this area. I should be able to pick them out of the crowd relatively easily. Ah, there, sitting next to the light post. I believe that is our next victim, my dear. I just cannot place why I would think that. Perhaps it is the significantly large firearm strapped to their side. I cannot say. Come along, let us meet them. Oh, look who it is. The radio demon and some kind of poorly dressed street rat. Do you not keep your pets on tighter leashes? They seem like a character, don't they? My, you are quite opinionated for a demon with such an unimpressive physique. Perhaps instead of insulting others, you should work on actually having some meat on those bones of yours. Yeah, right, like I'm gonna listen to you. Your arms are basically sticks, not to mention those clothes. What are you, some kind of hot chip? If you are just going to stand here and insult us, then I am not going to waste time. I sincerely apologize, but you will not be getting a single inch of cannibal territory. Let it be known that you must remove your forces from the areas you took, or we will have to retaliate with force.
We? I thought Rosie worked alone. What is she doing sending demons like you to do her dirty work?
That, my friend, is none of your business. What I will say, however, is that there is plenty of territory outside of Cannibal Town to conquer. Do not tell anyone I told you this, but the lava lake just north of here has a sizable amount of land sitting untouched next to it. Prime pickings, if you ask me.
As if I would want any of that territory. It's basically a desert out there. No, I don't want that. I want the land I have.
Well, that simply will not do. Perhaps if you were willing to negotiate.
Look, I'm gonna keep this short and simple. I'm keeping what I've got. If Rosie can't fight for this territory, then maybe she doesn't deserve it. It seems she already has you fighting all of her battles for her. This one can't be much harder.
I do not appreciate being interrupted.
I don't appreciate being patronized by overlords who think they're hot shit. Are we done here?
Stand down. Act on my call. All right, how about this? Why don't you move to a different edge of Cannibal Town? There's plenty of space to go around. It is just where you are now that is the problem.
And now you're making promises for her? What kind of negotiator are you? You know what? I think we're done here. Radio demon. I'm keeping my land. And if she has a problem with that, she can come talk to me about it herself.
Well, all right. I really hoped it would not come to this, but if you insist.
What are you gonna do? Hit me? Not if I hit you first. Look at that. Looks like your sidekick is actually capable of doing something.
Darling, I told you to stand down.
Oh, wow. And now you can't follow directions? The hell kind of pet are you? You, little pet, need to be put in your place. And I'll be damned if I'm not the one to do it. What the hell? You burned me.
Huh. Well, that is a development.
Well, that's fine. We'll see what good lighting my hand on fire does when I...
That is enough.
What the...
You have done more than enough here today. Run along back to your little group of ruffians and let them know that they will need to move. I will not ask again.
Hang on. I can... Ow.
Run along. All right. That was certainly an experience, no? I'm glad it ended when it did. That could have turned messy quite quickly. Speaking of messy, my dear, you are bleeding. You did not need to take that hit for me. I was fully capable of avoiding it. Not to mention you completely disobeyed my orders. That was quite foolish of you to do. Although, I suppose it was brave, standing in front of a wannabe overlord like that. I applaud you for your confidence. Shame it got you hurt. I would say the most impressive part of that display was that molt of fire. How in hell's flat earth did you accomplish that? Watching them jump back like a child was quite amusing. Well, I suppose it does not matter. Come along. We must make it back to the hotel before you bleed out. Do not fight me on this now. The radio demon is offering you solace during a troubling time. I would accept it, lest I leave you here to suffer from such a tiny hit. Do not tell me you came up with what you wanted from our deal right in this moment. All right, fine. What is it? Dinner? With me? Interesting. No, I didn't say I wouldn't agree to it. I just find it intriguing that you would ask for such a thing. All right, I accept. We will go out to dinner as soon as you are rested. How does that sound? Wonderful. Now come along, my dear. The hotel has bandages and plenty of warm beds to rest on. Who am I kidding? We both know the only one you'll want to sleep in is mine.